Hey everyone, it's Chris Loud. In this video, I'm playing with an expressive floral painting, and the focus is really about embracing imperfection. We're not chasing realism, we're chasing flow and energy, letting our marks be bold, letting go of that pressure to make things look right, and just enjoying the process of seeing something through instinct and layers. At the end of the video, I'll show you some close-ups as well as the final piece. So I started out by spreading a mix of Prussian blue and ultramarine blue across the surface using a silicone bowl scraper and a brayer. And this first layer is where the energy begins. It's about motion, not precision. Once that dried, I used a blow dryer to keep things moving. I added a layer of Naples yellow mixed with titanium white, kind of rolling that out with the brayer to let some of the deep blue peek through. I sprayed a little water on that as well, just to lift some areas and let the underpainting breathe a little. Then I scratched into the surface with a palette knife while the paint was still wet. All of this early play kind of sets the tone for what's to come. So I like starting with a dark base like this because it gives the whole painting a kind of grounded energy right from the beginning. Even when we cover most of that later, little moments of that rich blue peek through and add depth. And then by layering that lighter Naples yellow and white on top of that, we're already creating contrast and a sense of history. It's like we're building light over shadow or softness over weight. That kind of layering helps all of us find structure, even when we're painting intuitively. It's a way to start that's open-ended but still intentional. There's already tension and atmosphere before we even get to the florals. And that helps us let go of needing a plan. We can just follow what shows up layer by layer. And next, I dipped a stick into Mars Black and started making loose, expressive marks. I just used the brayer again to soften and spread some of that black and went back in with a stick for more layered movement. It's completely unstructured at this stage, but you know, that's where the kind of the fun is. We're giving the painting its own voice. And then I added a bit of Naples yellow right out of the tube to give some variation between the cooler underpainting and the warmer creamy areas. And these marks in contrast build, or at least start to build that visual rhythm. And even before the flowers appear, we're already exploring texture and contrast and emotion. So you can see I've already started on the flowers here. And to suggest the floral shapes, I used a small color shaper with a rounded edge, applying a mix of ultramarine blue and light violet. I placed those marks loosely along the stems, or at least where the stems might be, but it was still intuitive, more about kind of the feel than structure. And then I gradually started lightening the violet, first using it straight from the tube, and then I'll slowly start mixing in titanium white to create midtones and soft highlights. So we're not painting individual petals, we're building layers of suggestion. And that's one of the unique strengths of expressive floral painting. It lets us capture emotion and movement without getting bogged down in the detail. And there's also so much freedom here to kind of explore color. We don't have to match reality. Our florals can be soft, they can be bold, unexpected, and still resonate. So you can see I jumped ahead just a little bit, and I've already got some of those white areas in the flowers to suggest highlights. And really the main reason I jumped ahead was I did not hit the record button like I thought I did. So once I pulled off the tape and stepped back, I felt like the black areas were just a little too heavy. So I brought in a little light olive green. It's semi-opaque, so it softened the black without hiding it completely. And I'll, mixed a bit of ultramarine blue at first into that green for, a few of the spots to kind of keep the dark areas. And then I slowly added some titanium white to create highlights and lightened areas. And this part was all about responding to what was there. We're not trying to control the piece. We're having that dialogue again with what we're seeing. We're talking with the painting. This kind of process reminds me of why we paint in the first place. Expressive florals give us a way to loosen up, to explore the flow and color, and to bring emotion into our work without needing to follow a formula. They help us practice being present. They let us respond instead of overthinking. And when we do that enough, we start to see our own preferences show up. Those marks and color palettes and gestures we seem to return to again and again. And that's how our personal style grows, not from perfection, but from honest exploration. So if this resonates with you, feel free to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more process-based painting videos like this. And I'd love to hear what helps you let go of perfection when you paint. Let me know in the comments. And toward the end here, I added a few soft marks around the floral areas using charcoal pencil. And I was really hoping to bring a little separation between the background and the blooms. It didn't do quite as much as I had hoped, but I didn't want to overwork it. And that's something expressive painting teaches us. Not everything needs fixing. Sometimes what we think isn't working is actually part of the painting's unique voice. And that mindset, learning to see the beauty in the unexpected, is something I think all of us can take into our own practice. So you can see I'm putting a little bit of this charcoal down. I think it did enough. I did come back with a baby wipe and a wipe just a little bit of it away. I didn't want to have it kind of muddy the background as much as I felt like it was. So I decided to stop that and kind of leave it as it was. So I'll show you some close-ups here. So you can see some of those textures and marks. And then I'll show you the final piece as well here. This was just a fun little painting session, expressive and freeing and loose. So thanks for watching, and keep on painting.